Speech off.
Hi everybody, this is Beverly and I'm out on my front porch early in the morning. You can see the sun is just beaming in from the east, and I'm out here early in the morning because I'm going to do a video to show what Gretchen does for me on this front porch. I know I videoed from my front porch a lot. The house that we live in is, let me pan down to it. This floor, the siding on the house is all like lap board with some bay windows on the outside that look on the inside. And the house was built in 1895, and it's got this huge wraparound front porch, which goes all the way to this end. This store right here goes into what is our library now. It used to be the original dining room, and then these stairs here, which Gretchen knows, they go down the side of the house and to the back of the house that way. But before I got Gretchen, and we've got hanging plants, between all these columns. Before I got Gretchen, I would come out here. I've been so accustomed to this porch since I was 3, because my grandparents, this was their house. This is where all the cousins, all the nieces and nephews and aunts and uncles would come every Sunday afternoon. And in the South, on Sunday afternoon after church, that meant fried chicken and rice and gravy and green beans and any other fresh vegetable that had been grown in the garden by my granddaddy. And anyway, so I'm very, very familiar with this porch here. I used to sing and dance on the porch and pretend that, down there in the grass, my audience was down there. And once I thought I would launch my brother's brand new B-52 model plane bomber off of the porch, because I was convinced it would fly on its own if I just threw it hard enough, and I ruined it. But as you can see, this front porch has no safety rails. It has columns that actually are more indicative of 1920. They were changed to modernize the house, but beneath them, when they were built in 1895, this was the newest style. With down below here, there were on the base of the column there were bricks, and then a concrete cap here, and then wooden square columns, and then at the top there used to be gingerbread molding. But the point I was making with Gretchen out here today is that she, on harness, I'm going to attempt to walk to the edge of this porch, which is probably 12 feet wide at this point. And this is one of the narrower points. Down where the swing is, it's about an 8-foot wide porch. And here, right here in front, exposed to the eastern side of the house, is about a 12-foot wide. So I'm going to see what she does when I attempt to walk forward and off the porch. Okay, Gretchen, let's go. Off. She went right in front of me. Good girl, Gretchen. Good girl. Okay, now I'm going to see if she do this over on this side. I'm going to see if I can pretend to walk off, because hopefully I will not walk off. If I do walk off, then you will all see it. No, she's pulling toward the library door. Okay, Gretchen, let's go forward. Let's go forward. Let's go forward, Gretchen. Let's go forward. Gretchen, let's go forward. Let's go forward, Gretchen. Let's go forward. Let's go forward. Gretchen, let's go forward. Let's go forward. Good girl. Can we go forward? Good girl. So she's got me. First of all, I've run into a plant that's hanging here. But secondly, she has crossed her body so that I can't get to the edge of the porch. Awesome, awesome job, girl. Awesome job. And the reason that I wanted to demonstrate this is before I got Gretchen, I was so hesitant to come out on this porch for at least 3 years. I love the porch. As you can see, the roundedness of it, let me see if I can focus back on it. The roundedness of it makes you able to sit and look at the intersection. So you get a northern breeze, which is in that direction. You get a western breeze from that direction. You get an eastern breeze from that direction. And if you barely round the corner over here, you get a southern breeze. Good girl. Now let's see one more time if I can walk off the porch. I'm going to pretend, and I don't have to go very far to pretend this. Gretchen, I'm going to go this way. Good girl. Good girl. She has completely blocked me. So she is standing completely perpendicular to me, and her ribs are kind of up against my knees, and she's facing south and I'm facing east. So she has crisscrossed me right in front at the edge of this porch and has done exactly what she's supposed to do. I just love this girl. Yes, I do. I just love this girl. She is so good. And I'm gonna take her inside, and then I'm gonna explain. I'm gonna sit out here for a second and explain. And then I'm going in the house, explain what happened one day. Come here, Gretch. Take your harness off. And your leash. Do it all one-handed, because I've learned how to do this so well. She hadn't had her breakfast. Now she's done what she needed to do. Okay, you run in there. I'll lay that right there. So I know this is kind of a long video, but the point I was going to make is that one, and see right now, my anxiety level's huge. Felt my rocking chair here, thank goodness, because I don't know from the front of this rocking chair to right there how far it is. So one afternoon I was out here dusting off these rocking chairs and the ledges to the windows over there, because you know people sit out here and you don't want dust and stuff. And I walked completely off at I'll show you the pace I was walking. It was like this. I'm walking at a pretty good clip, and once again I forgot that I couldn't see. I didn't have my cane, and instead of walking down south, I walked right off the edge of this porch here. And I'm still really antsy because I'm feeling out with my foot. So I walked off the edge of this porch, and there's a bush right here that's not stickery, but it's not, it's not a nice soft bush. And I landed way down here. The porch is a good 3.5 feet off the ground. So I landed down behind this bush and behind this pillar here, this like a stoop that comes out, and then our concrete sidewalk, our concrete stairs on the other side. But I wasn't looking for the stairs. I wasn't looking for anything. I was not paying attention. So I walked off and took a full stride step right off into this, and kind of was down on one knee, and but as I stood up, on one knee and was fixed to stand up on the other knee, my first reaction, which was so ridiculous, my head popped up from behind that bush, and I looked around to see who had seen me. Now you hear cars over there. There was nobody out here. It was it was early in the morning, but there was nobody out here. There was no traffic there. To my best knowledge, there was nobody on the streets, and my neighbor across the street had gone to work. So it kind of sounded like this. But my point was that it took me totally by surprise. It was once again within that time frame where I was losing my vision so gradually that things that I had been able to do all of my life since a child, which is run up and down this porch and play tag and jump over my cousins and avoid the edges of the porch. Now I can't even see the edge of the porch. But I didn't have the tools in my toolbox. I didn't have the knowledge, the techniques to know, okay, when is there too much sight loss not to be able to rely on your eyes for something that is so familiar, that has been there your entire life. So, it just goes to show that every person who loses their sight, whether they lose it early or as a teenager, or young adult, or a middle-aged person, or an older adult, you just have to change the way you do things. And I think that's as simplistic as I can put it. The way I'd always done it is looked down, saw the edge, and avoided it. And now I don't have that technique. If I'm not out here with my cane, for the longest, I wouldn't even come out here. I was just scared. And then I would come with my cane. But then I got lax and would forget to get my cane, knowing that I wasn't going to go walking down the street, knowing that I was just going to come sit out on the front porch. What could possibly happen? And would you not know it, 6 months later, I did the exact same thing. And it's not funny, but it's not funny because I have no broken bones and no sprained knees. Again, I looked like an idiot down in the bushes. But the second time it happened, I just assumed I was right in front of my doors. And if you come out my 2 double doors, you come right straight ahead to the concrete steps and go down the stairs. And I had misjudged where I was. I was a whole 10 to 12 feet away from there. And so I took my first step off of, I'm scared to even move away from my rocking chair because I don't have Gretchen with me. But I took one step off of there at a full stride, assuming I was going down my 5 stairs. And my 5 stairs don't have anything over there that you can grip to. We've talked about addressing that. It's really, really dangerous for people that aren't sure-footed. And I still, luckily, even with no sight, can, go up and down the stairs very well without holding on to anything. But lots of people have orthopedic issues and they can't do that. And lots of people have sight issues and they can't do that. It's just dangerous. But anyway, my point is that both times my mind was elsewhere. I did not have it engaged in the proper mode for walking around on my front porch blind. And both times I walked full force off the porch. I haven't done it since because I haven't forgotten that. It took twice for me to forget it. My other video I showed getting lost in my yard. And if you haven't seen that video, it's pretty interesting. But it shows you the things, the progression of a slow sight loss, because there's no roadmap for it. Nobody says, okay, now in this month you won't be able to see this, and so you got to prepare for that. So next month you won't be able to see this, and you got to prepare for that. And the next month you won't see this, or 6 months from now you're not going to be able to see this. The human brain uses the eyes to their maximum capacity. And if there is one little sliver of hope that the eye is going to be able to see something, the eye will automatically take over and assume that it's seeing it. Whether it is seeing it or not, that's just how we're wired. So the slow, gradual sight loss is very difficult. Lots of people go through it. I've gone through it. You do get through it, and I think there's a certain part where you hit the other side and you go, okay, now I get it. I can be blind. Where for so long with me, I was in limbo. I wasn't blind. My eyes said I could see, and they could see lots and lots of things. But it wasn't necessarily safe vision or functional vision. So this is just another one of my lectures sitting on the front porch, and I hope you have gotten some information out of it. I love to talk about this part of blindness, which is what I always call the gray area. You're not completely blind. You don't have normal vision, with 20/20, 20/40. That's considered normal. You don't have that, and sometimes your eyes work and sometimes they don't work, and you can't ever predict when that's going to happen. So you gotta always carry your little bag of tricks with you in the toolbox and be prepared to be blind at any given moment. And I think that's what I've learned. And my first demonstration with this video with Gretchen was to show how relieving it is to me to know when I have her out here on harness, she's not going to allow me to walk off this porch. So I could be watering the hanging baskets. I could be dusting the furniture. I could be climbing on a ladder to fix the light bulbs. We have ceiling fans and light bulbs. If I have her on harness and I come down and I walk toward the edge, she is not going to allow me to walk off this porch. And I just love her so much. So that's all I have to say on this video. It's plenty. It's been a long video, but I think it's important. And I will talk to you next time, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.